What is up, guys and gals, and welcome back to Tyranny. My name is Splattercat. Very happy to have you here today as we hang out for a little while. And we've got ourselves some new digs. I don't even want to know what the rent would be on this place. With my luck, this spire would be in the Bay Area. That would be my luck. I would inherit this spire, and it would be in the Bay Area, and the mortgage would be like $82 gajillion a month. Seriously, rent in the Bay Area is the worst. Don't ever move to the Bay Area, California. You'll get stuck. You'll never leave. You'll be stuck in the trap, baby. You ain't never getting out of here. You'd be living in the hood, paying like $2,500 a month in rent. It's brutal. It's the worst. You're like, but I live in Hunters Point. How is it possible that my rent is so high? Actually, Hunters Point is kind of gentrifying right now. It's actually cleaned up quite a lot. Like, when I was in the heavy metal scene playing music and touring and shit, Hunters Point was pretty like... it went hard out in Hunters Point, but it seems like they've been trying to clean it up or whatever lately. So what's she got going on? Obviously, we want her spell strength to be better. I want to see what she is doing as a character, though. So she's got tidal magic. She's got a powerful jet of magic that knocks people back. She can get fluid body, so afflictions on her are, I guess, shorter in duration. She's got Mother's Embrace. She can surround the target's head, which leaves them to slowly drown inside a bubble. Okay. She's got Grave Light that she can do. It's an arcane missile that bounces to hit nearby enemies. That sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty rad. Are those the only two trees that she gets? Oh, really? Those are her only two trees. Okay, well, we know she's going to be good at something then. That's fine. I was trying to click and drag, and I was like, wow, she doesn't have very many trees, whereas my character has, like, tons of them. My character's got trees, like, going for days. However, I don't have the points to fill those trees, so it's kind of like, what's the point in having all those trees if you can't fill them? You know what I mean? My recommendation would be that you look at some of the stuff on the next couple, lift a target in the air, and then dash them back down into the ground. Oh, that's gangster right there. That's some Warhammer 40k shit. That's like something you would expect a librarian to whip out and just be like, whoa, bah, slam. And that's actually an ability that you get in Dark Heresy. If you go to the telekinetics tree, I can get that. It's called a sail. And essentially, I can pick up an object off the ground and whip it at the enemy at like ridiculous speed, or if there's nothing available, I can just punch the air and like psychic force will assail them, or I can pick them up and slam them into the ground. You know, all kinds of stuff with it. I thought about getting it, but it's got bad armor penetration, so I was just like, Everything we fought so far has hella armor, and so I'm looking for shit that goes straight through armor. We will go with Runic Teacher. While in the party, Ebb and her allies gain more skill experience with lore, spells, and magical staves. Okay. Grants a bonus to magic defense. Alright. Grants significant bonus magic defense. Oh, really? She's got a, with Tyranny's grip, she's got a... So this one appears to be the attack tree. This one appears to be more utilitarian. This one right here, so she's got a crowd controller spell where it's essentially a polymorph or a spell that takes somebody out of combat for a little bit, where I can just suspend somebody in midair and they can't do shit. That's really tempting because you're outnumbered a lot in this game, and being able to eliminate a tough enemy for like the entire duration of a fight would be really, really good. Let's go with Mother's Embrace, though, first. I like the idea of choking my... It's a force choke by a different function, essentially, and I like it. I don't think we have much else to handle over here. Does she have more leveling up to be done? Oh. She's got lots and lots of leveling up to be done. Maybe it refunded all of her points because she's a new character. So she's got 2 points remaining. Well, that's good because I'm going to go with... I don't know if I should push one tree really, really hard. Or if I should... It's a tough one. So we can remove hostile effects. We can have a powerful wave that repels foes in a cone, pushing them back a fair distance. Clear Mind, so her recovery time is reduced as she strikes twice with her normal attacks. Okay, that's pretty good. It kind of depends. So you get bonus armor while she's got light armor on, so that's not terrible. There's a cone explosion of Grave Light energy. They take arcane damage and a portion of their lost health is drained back to Ebb. Yeah, that's pretty good, too. That's definitely a temptation. So the question is, do I work my way down one tree as rapidly as possible, then hit the other tree? Or do I kind of mix and match and get the things that I want? And believe me, I really want Tyranny's grip. That ability is super clutch, and so I want it really badly. But for now, let's take the bonus right there to our frost damage. And then we will strongly consider, so she can wash over the target, removing hostile effects. She can lower her recovery time and double attack with her normal attacks, but only when she's not taking damage. Shock and frost damage gets even stronger if we go right there. Yeah, you know, I feel okay about that. I'll probably go with this one, and this one as she levels. But let's make sure we get all of her passive stuff nice and locked in first, so that she hurts. That's what I really, really want from her, is just to hurt shit. So we can go to the Spire, we can go to Ascension Hollow, we can go down to the bottom. Let's see what happens when we go back down to the hall. Maybe we got prisoners, or maybe there's something we can loot inside that room that it teleported us up and out of. Before, we were forced to our duties elsewhere. I wasn't planning on getting teleported today. Being forcibly moved.
You want me to be subtle? Fine.
So all that remains of the plates and goblets are molded bits of bread and dingy water. A decent meal hasn't been had in this room in a while. The stone throne is caked with solid layers of dust. Nobody sits on it. And then the intricacies of the architecture suggest a master of craftsmanship that's far beyond what one would expect from a normal tiersman. What are you trying to say? Tiersmen can't craft? What if you have like that one guy who's like a... And they all have shit to say to me right now, too. We'll deal with that in just a minute, because I got a feeling time's going to disappear once we start having those conversations. I've got a feeling. Alright, so to the southwest. I guess I'll go out the way that I came in. I'm not seeing a whole lot of other stuff around here. Oh, we didn't investigate this area. I missed a little corner. And there's stuff inside of it, see? This is why you gotta look. That's why you gotta look. There's dagger plans. These partial plans describe the process for creating a powerful weapon, but more research is needed to fill the gaps. The research can be made in the Spire library with the proper materials. Oh, okay. Cool. That sounds awesome. Weirdly enough, I'm okay with it. Oh, I missed something right there, too. Man, I'm missing all kinds of shit in this playthrough. Now I'm starting to feel guilty. Like I'm not the best adventurer. I'm not living up to my adventuring capacities, you know? It's kind of like when Poe in Kung Fu Panda, he realizes that he's not eating up to his full potential. Exact same thing just happened to me. This old book is fragile and hard to read, but there are legible plans in it for locked iron gauntlets. This items can be made with the access to a Spire forge upgrade and proper materials. Okay, so it looks like we're going to be doing a fair amount of crafting as we get further into the game too, which I'm okay with. I love crafting systems. I'm a sucker for crafting systems. I can still play vanilla Minecraft until I'm just bored out of my mind. Camping supplies and some potions. I'll definitely take those. And in fact, I should have stripped the potions off of big old metal man before we got out of here. So out in the city, there shouldn't be too much else going on, although I don't think I looted everything either while we were out here. I think there's a leather buckler, which gives 5 dodge, and it actually makes recovery not too bad. Might be worth investigating. So were you to equip that, you would lose endurance. You would lose parry, but you would gain dodge and you would gain recovery. We'll keep him where he's at for right now. Trying to keep him nice and heavily built so we don't have to worry about, taking any big nasty hits to our tank. We've got a looted cart on this side, which apparently I failed to notice. There's a whetstone and a mead. I love mead. I don't drink mead very often because it's really, really expensive where I live. If you're trying to get mead, it's almost always like imported, but something like Chaucer's, yeah, that's pretty good. Don't mind if I do. Heavy bronze armor, I will take it. Never had mead before. It's essentially just honey wine. That's all it is. It's like honeyed wine. It's pretty good though, especially like they got this thing called milling spices that they tend to come with the bottle. So the bottle will be there and the milling spices will be included with the bottle. And so what you do is you boil the liquor and you make it hot. You make it really, really hot. It's like a Christmassy dessert drink. And then you put the milling spices in just like with tea for like X amount of time. How do I get out of the spire? But yeah, you put it down and then you mill it like tea, essentially. You steep it. And then by the time it comes out, it should be nice and delicious. Sculpture has not responded to your touch. Well, that's not a good thing because as of right now, I'm not sure how the hell I leave this thing. As if I go back down to the Citadel, maybe I just walk my dumb ass out of here. I was hoping it would all be accessible from the same area, but it does not appear to be. There we go. I knew I'd figure it out eventually. So we have to go to Bastard City. Bastard City! We can go to Bastard City. We can go to Sunset Spire, which apparently we're going to have to knock over all these spires and become more powerful. Let's go to Bastard City, though. Got to go talk to our boss. 2 days and 12 hours to get there. At a nice little clip. Man, this guy got a nice house. Look at that color scheme. That glorious imperial color scheme. Everybody knows you mean business when your color scheme's like that. It's locked in. Lots and lots of nobles here. And we need to talk to... So we've got other fate binders.
You call yourselves officers of Kairos' army, but your conduct falls short of my expectations. The court finds your accounts of Vendrian's well lacking, rife with misdirection and fallacy, fouled with baseless accusation.
The shadows between Tunon's cloak darken and flare around him. Murmurs of unease erupt in the court. It's my boss, man. I'm not going to say shit. I'm just going to listen. Your Honor, I have relayed the events as I have experienced them. You can well imagine why my version conflicts with his. She makes a dismissive gesture to the Scarlet Chorus representative. On my honor and that of the great general, I would sooner snap my sword than perjure myself before you, Archon. Oh, so you imply that falsehood comes easier to my lips than to yours? You think you're a fool. You're a fool if you believe the Archon of Justice won't see through your lies just because the disfavored think themselves better than an honest gang.
Silence. The contradictions in your statements will be examined, and falsities threshed from truths. If we find you have perjured yourselves, Bled and Mark will see to your fate.
Who is Bled and Mark? Cairo's knife in the shadows, the unseen drop of poison that enforces the Overlord's will. Oh, so he's like a gangster-ass assassin. Dude, I want to be that guy. How do I get to be Bled and Mark? You imagine that job? They'd be like, this person is an enemy of the Empire. He has perjured himself. Eliminate him. I bet it pays well, too.
Fatebinder, we will start with the matter of the Archons. Graven Ash and the Voices of Nerat have declared war upon each other. In addition to violating Kairos' peace, they have thrown the conquest of the Tears into disarray. By all accounts, these hostilities began shortly after your arrival. Tell us what transpired.
The Archons have been of different minds since the start of the war.
Your perspective is appreciated, but the dispositions of the two Archons are already a matter of record. Loyal subjects of Kairos have drawn blood from each other, a cardinal crime. Something happened at Vendrian's Well to trigger this feud.
The Archons could not agree on who should lead the siege, and descended into accusations of treachery. It seemed a mutual spat. The disfavored were more deserving of the honor. Our tactics and training outmatched the Vendrian Guard at every turn. Oh, what balderdash. The disfavored couldn't tip over a straw hut if they had a week to strategize. Our howling mob was better equipped to overwhelm the Vendrian Guard. Our recruits were ready to throw themselves at the enemy if only Ash and his legion would agree to a plan.
The Fatebinder presents testimony. I warn you both against speaking out of turn. Something more than a mere disagreement unraveled this campaign. But I will return to that in time. Let us speak of Ascension Hall. From all accounts, it would seem you were instrumental in its capture, or so the petitioner of the Scarlet Chorus testifies. The disfavored commander has a dimmer view of the matter. Lend me your perspective.
I joined with the Scarlet Chorus. We took the Citadel with an unstoppable advance.
The edict meant certain doom if the siege failed. So why, when your survival depended on it, did you join your strength to the Scarlet Chorus and not the elite disfavored?
Petty squabbles clouded Graven Ash's judgment. He was too mired in assaulting the Voices to conquer the Citadel properly. For a long while, the adjudicator hovers in silence, shadows trailing from below his robes.
I will consider this testimony at length. The court thanks you for it. Is there anything you wish to add at this time?
I mean, this is one of those times where, like, a narrative-based video game fails, because my rationality for sending in the Scarlet Chorus first was that they are a peasant army, essentially. They're rabble. I wanted to send them in first as the beachhead to soak the damage, take the walls, and then send in the disfavored, who are the trained, seasoned veteran troops, with all the strategy and everything once the walls were taken, in order to pacify the city. Unfortunately, the game didn't work like that, but if I was playing this tabletop like D&D style, that's what I would bring up right now. It wasn't a matter of taking sides with one of the armies. It was a matter of using the resources that were available to me in the most strategic way possible. You don't waste your elite troops by throwing them against a fortified wall. You send the rabble in first, the peasant crusade, and then once they've taken a couple of beachheads on the wall, then you send in the elites. I have told you all that I know.
Your testimony is accepted by the court. The statements of our guests raise questions in my mind. There is much about this campaign that has caused me to wonder. A shipment of iron weapons was short on arrival. Where coveted iron is concerned, I don't believe it to be a clerical error. One of my agents recovered this seal in Echo Call. It belongs to a merchant collective. Lethian's Crossing is teeming with their kind. If you would root out treachery, I would advise starting there. Petitioners, leave us. I would have a private audience with the Fatebinder. Ascend and join me. You will find the way opened.
Okay. I know he said Fatebinder alone. And technically, I'm not super alone right now. Like, I've got, like, homeboys with me. Is that okay, boss man? Ooh, I leveled up. Yay for me. 18 strength. Hitting dude super hard. And then we were working on Sunder, as I recall. Although it's quicker to go down the trees for melee characters, I'm now noticing. I think I was focusing on making sure that... Oh, we can get cleave, too. I was trying to make it so that my thrust does, like, a bunch of different shit at the same time. Blade Wall, I can engage more enemies. I can enter a defensive stance, getting a bonus to my armor. Probably a smart idea if I'm wanting to retain 2 mages in my party. Yeah, now that we no longer have a tank. I don't know if I would ever go unarmed mastery. There's two-handed mastery over there, but I'm not a two-handed master. I don't think we ever found where the... Well, maybe we did. Yeah, one-handed mastery was right here. Increases base weapon damage while using single one-handed melee weapon, allows basic attacks to strike multiple times. Yeah, I would say that's probably what I would go into right now, and then we'll focus on the defensive stuff a little bit later. I just want to be able to spear a little bit better.
This civil war, this feud, is an insult to Kairos' peace. It should not have taken the better part of a year to silence the last vestiges of the Oathbreakers.
Tunon regards you in a thoughtful silence. I agree completely, Your Honor.
Our allies squabble while our enemies regroup. It falls upon the court to measure the extent of the damage and to execute the agents of disorder. I suspect that treachery, negligence, disunity, and greed have infected one or both of our esteemed allies. Until you are instructed otherwise, this matter is the court's primary focus. Graven Ash and the voices of Nerat must be examined in close detail. You are charged with observing the Archons and presenting your case that one of them has wrought chaos and disorder upon the tiers.
Could they both be guilty?
It's possible, but the momentum of the conquest up to this point suggests otherwise. The failure at Vendrian's Well implies a coordinated will behind the chaos. As always, you will be held accountable for what you do in the court's name. But you are free to conduct your investigation in the manner of your choosing. You must expect lies, misdirection, and manipulation. Suffer not such obstructions of justice. They say the voices of Nerat holds you in higher regard than most. Use this alliance to enter his confidence. It seems unlikely the Archon of Secrets is more honest with friends than with rivals, but to his friends, he has been known to divulge much. The disfavored will likely be less cooperative with your investigation. They will no doubt assume Graven Ash's honor is beyond reproach, which is all the more reason to scrutinize the Archon of War closely. And if the ironclad forces discourage your inquiry, I charge you to make them talk. Speak their language of battle if you must.
The chorus seems like a source of lies. Why bother?
Your intuition may well be correct, but you must give the Scarlet Chorus a chance to give an accounting, even a false one. Your fellow Fatebinders have been busy acting as my eyes and ears. I have a few leads for you to follow. You should, of course, speak with your brothers and sisters of the court if you need further counsel. The disfavored have made use of the Sage's network of dovecotes and messenger birds as they come under capture. I've heard multiple claims of strategic communications gone missing. The Sages are broken, their citadel in flames, but they were not slaughtered to the last. Some of their numbers still congregate around the smoking husk of their burning library. If they have been reading disfavored communications, learn what they learned, then execute them. There is a final matter to discuss. A sensitive topic.
Though it's not really possible to gauge from his expression, Tunon seems more wary than usual. What concerns you?
In spite of the many shortcomings at Vendrian's Well, you managed to make a name for yourself. You proclaimed an Edict of Kairos, resolved its demanding conditions, and ascended the mountain spire. Any one of these feats would be worthy of recognition by the highest authority. You managed to accomplish 3.
I am in a privileged position to accomplish such incredible deeds.
It pleases me that you grasp your role, as long as you temper it with a sense of duty. Whether by design or by accident, you have captured the attention of Kairos' army and the local tiersmen alike. This is no small opportunity, and the court charges you with exploiting your new standing to its fullest potential. You have a title in our hierarchy. However, it's a little-known secret that one's standing in the world is determined by their infamy, their deeds, and how they come to be known. Mind this notion as you bring justice to this lawless frontier. There may come a time when your deeds speak for you louder than any title. Whatever you did to capture the attention of the masses at Vendrian's Well, I would encourage you to do so again.
Understood. I will be known as a champion of justice.
Good. It falls to us to set a new standard for these southern barbarians. You are dismissed. Should the court have need of your presence, you will receive word. Go forth and do my bidding, and bring glory and honor to the tiers in Kairos' name.
He raps his gavel against the floor, the singular note resounding throughout the hall. Damn, and then he just disappears in a puff of smoke like a badass. If I could disappear in a puff of smoke, everybody would think that I was the shit. You'd be like, alright, I'm going home. And instead of walking out the front door and going out to like your Acura or whatever, you're just like, Fuzza! And just disappeared into a puff of smoke. Damn, that'd be so hyped. Fatebinder, you return. Rogalis looks you up and down with an inscrutable expression. You look as though you have questions for me to untangle. Ask, I'm feeling generous. What did you study, or let's see here. What can you tell me about the sages? I will not speak of the sages. They are no better than charlatans and cons, wholly selfish in their ill pursuit to hoard all knowledge from others. They are self-blinded by their own deceptions and clever manipulations. They alone caused their own undoing and are solely to blame for the burning library, one of the most grievous wrongs in the known histories for which they can never be forgiven. Okay. Well, I thought there would be something more storyline-oriented. There we go. Laymond, I see you've returned to the fold. Your exploits in Vendrian's Well are the matter of some discussion. The Fatebinder at Balance regards you with a discerning eye. For a moment, you feel as though she's trying to peer into the very depths of your mind. What can I do for you? Has anything happened while I was away? Nunnaval was dispatched to the Stalwart to break the stalemate between the locals and the disfavored. He proclaimed Cairo's Edict of Storm, shattering the country with winds unending. I have some concerns about this war. Well, you're free to share them in my confidence. She leans closer. Our armies squabble at each other's throats, divided we can't win. I'm less concerned about the armies than the Archons themselves. There can be no order when mountains collide. Who would you see as the champion? Neither. They're both at fault and equally inept. And then who would lead our advances, or be left to deliver Cairo's peace? Would you wear this responsibility as a crown upon your head? You may find it a heavy burden to bear. You misunderstand my intent. Do I? Okay. Well, we're out of time for right now. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Tyranny. I will see you all in future episodes where we will be hunting down more Iron Thieves and hopefully doing the will of the court. And also speaking, actually, we should probably go. Yeah, we got all kinds of stuff going on. But we'll take it one at a time. We'll take it one at a time. I'll see y'all in the next episode. Hi to everybody.